Hello everyone, myself Mrs.T.ARUNDHATIE, Assistant Professor of Geology, Department of Geology, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. In this class, we are going to see about the Pelecypoda, the phylum Mollusca and the class Pelecypoda. What are the content we are going to see? It means introduction, the morphology which includes the shell form, symmetry, umbo, hingement, ligament, adductor impression, pallial line, ventral margin, ornamentation, and at last we are going to see geological distribution. Then first, what is Pelecypod? Pelecypod comes under the phylum Mollusca. It is a class of aquatic mollusks. Aquatic means both marine and freshwater that have laterally compressed soft bodies enclosed by calcified exoskeleton consisting of a hinged pair of half shells known as valves. It have bivalves. As a group, bivalves have no head and lack some typical molluscan organs such as the radula and the odontophore. Their gills have evolved into cnidaria and the specialized organs for feeding and breathing. Animals of this class originated in the Cambrian and have survived to the present day. They have a wide geographical distribution. The living forms are exclusively aquatic and mostly marine with the adaptability to all the depth ranges from the shoreline to about 6,000 meter depth. Shortly we can see the introduction. The Pelecypoda are aquatic. Aquatic means both marine and freshwater, but mostly it comes under the marine and some Pelecypods comes under freshwater. Its adaptability, it is adaptable in all depth from the shoreline to 6,000 meter depth in the ocean. It is Cambrian to present. Its age is from Cambrian to recent. We will see this in the geological time scale. Its body is enclosed in the calcareous bivalve shell. Bivalve means two valve shell. One valve present at the right side of the organism and the other left side of the body. Then we are going to see the morphology of Pelecypoda. In the morphology, what we are going to see means the functions and the shapes and the parts of Pelecypods. First, we can see the shell form. Shell form, it has divided into shape and symmetry. We can see the shell form as shape and symmetry. First, shape. The morphology of the Pelecypod is the shells which is inequilateral and inequivalve, middle-sized, varying in shape from rounded through subtriangular to oval and cemented to the substratum by the right valve. In this picture you can see, in the left side in this picture you can see the different shapes of Pelecypods. First fossil, the Trigonia, which is triangular, subtriangular in shape, and last you can see Ostrea, which is oval in shape, and the last Exogyra, the Pecten, Chordata, Venus. These are all the fossils which have different shapes in the shell forms and their ornamentation also different, and the both walls have the same shape. Next we can see symmetry, which comes under the shell form. Symmetry means what we can say? It's a mirror image of the other side. The Pelecypods exhibit the bilateral symmetry. Always it exhibits a bilateral symmetry, meaning their body can be divided into the mirror image halves by a plane passing through the hinge. This symmetry applies to the body and the two shell walls, which is one on the left and the other on the right, which are often identical or mirror images joined by a hinge line. Unlike brachiopods, which are symmetrical perpendicular to the hinge, brachiopods are symmetrical. In this picture, right side picture, you can see the symmetry of the Pelecypods. First, you can see in the second row, we can see the equivalve and inequivalve. Equivalve means both the valves having the same dimension, same symmetry, and the inequivalve, we can see the upper valve. Upper valve is very large than the lower valve, so it is inequivalve. Then in the last row, you can see the equilateral and inequilateral. Equilateral means the left side and the right side, which we are saying as anterior and posterior, are equal in size. So it is equilateral symmetry. And the second last picture, it is inequilateral because the anterior side and the posterior side are different. Posterior side is very greater in size than the anterior side, so it comes under the inequival. It is a symmetry. Then we can see umbo. Umbo means it is the most prominent and raised part of each wall of a pelecypod shell. It is located above the hinge line. It is the oldest part of the shell where growth began when the animal was a juvenile. Its location, the umbo means it is a hump-like structure just present above the shell. Location means where it present. The umbo is found on the dorsal side of the shell. In the shell, we can see the dorsal side, ventral side, anterior side, and then posterior side. In the dorsal side only, the umbo is present. Dorsal side of the shell, just superior to the hinge ligament that connects the two walls. Hingement ligament, which connects the two walls. Okay. Then formation. It is the original and first formed part of the shell. The subsequent concentric growth lines on the shell radiate outwards from this point, from this umbo. Then appearance. It often forms a distinct hump or beak-like projection. Its shape, size and position, whether it points forward or backward, they are the important features used by the scientists for identifying different species of bivalves. Its function. What is the function of umbo? As the oldest and highest point of the shell, it provides an anchor point for the hinge mechanism that allows the bivalve to open and close the shell. Umbo is always present on the dorsal side of the shell, which look like a hump-like structure. This is the umbo. Then we are going to see about the hingement. Hingement in Pelecypoda refers to specialized dorsal connection between the two shell walls by an elastic ligament which naturally keeps the shell open, opposed by the strong adductor muscles. Hingement only helps the shells to open and close. This hinge structure involves a hinge line with interlocking teeth. In paleontology, we will say the teeth arrangement as dentition, and the elastic protein. They are the crucial for their survival and is a key feature for paleontological classification. Then in this hingement, we will see about the ligament. Ligament is the fluid. It is a strong elastic structure located on the dorsal side connecting the two walls. It's under the tension, keeping the shell slightly ajar, allowing the water to flow in for filter feeding. Ligament only helps the shell to open and close, which is present in the hingement or hinge line. Then hinge teeth. Interlocking projections on the hinge line that help align the walls and prevent them from sliding sideways, providing the stability for this. Then hinge plate. The area on the shell where the teeth and ligaments are located, varying in thickness and shape, used in species identification. This hingement plays a very important role in opening and closing of the shell, which includes the ligament, hinge teeth, hinge plate, etc. Then we can see this is the part of Pelecypoda. In the left wall, you can see the external view, and the right side, you can see the internal view of left wall. Okay. In the external view, you can see a growth line which is concentric in shape. Growth line, we can see it as concentric growth line, and the umbo on the dorsal side and ventral side are present, and then anterior and posterior, left side and right side. In the internal view of left wall, we can easily find the beak. Beak means in umbo we can say it as beak. Then lateral tooth are present slightly below the umbo, and then cardinal teeth are present on the hinge plate. Then adductor muscles, you can see both sides there is a present adductor muscle scare. Adductor muscle scare means it is the scare which left after the organism died. After the organism died, then only we are getting the fossils. In this fossil, you can see adductor muscle scare on both the sides. The adductor muscles are connected by a line, curved line called the pallial line. The pallial line which have the slight depression with it, we can say it as the sinus, pallial sinus. That's why they are mentioned as, we are mentioning here as pallial line with the sinus posteriorly. Okay. Then under the hingement only, we can see the types of dentition based on the arrangement of teeth. Based on the arrangement of teeth in the fossils, we are classifying it into the several types. The dentition we are classifying into several types. In that, the first one is taxodont. In the taxodont, you can see the hinge line, which is present straight with numerous and small similar sized shaped teeth. All the teeth are very similar in size and huge numerous teeth are present in the straight hinge line radiating from the center of the valve. It present radiate from the center of the valve only. For example, we can say arca and glycimeris. Then disodont. A disodont type, you can see the numerous small similar sized and shaped teeth placed on the hinge line. They are seen to radiate from the umbo. First, in taxodont, what we see, they are radiating from the center of the valve. In the disodont, we can see the teeth are very huge, very numerous and similar sized as like as taxodont. But they are in the disodont, we can see the teeth arrangement radiating from the umbo only, not from the valve. For example, we can say Mytilus. Mytilus fossil comes under the disodont type of dentition. Then isodont. Isodont means only two or three teeth only present. They are strong and equal in size, seen on each valve on both the sides of the central triangular ligament pit. The teeth and the sockets are symmetrical in size. Example, spondylus. Then sisodont. Sisodont means it's a very few and strong, thick and grooved teeth. They appear to diverge from the umbo towards the inside of the valve. They diverge from the umbo towards the inside of the valve. For example, trigonia. Trigonia, in the name you can see trigonia. The fossil present as triangular in shape, similar to triangular in shape. So the name, fossil name comes as trigonia. Then heterodont type of dentition. In this type of dentition, it represents the highest development in lamellar branches. Lamellar branches means it is another name of Pelecypoda. Okay, the teeth comes under heterodont. They are very few in number and are not of uniform size and shape. All are unequal size and shape. Then the similar teeth occurring just below the umbo. It is known as the cardinal teeth, and the other larger teeth which are present away from the umbo, we can say it as the lateral teeth because it is present on the lateral side of the umbo. Okay, lateral side of the umbo. For example, we can say chordata and venus. They are having the cardinal teeth just below the umbo and the lateral teeth away from the umbo. Then another type of dentition, which is the desmodont type. In this, the true teeth and hinge line are replaced by one or more smooth laminae or ridges, which is developed at the higher margins only. For example, ostrea and gryphia. These are the types of dentition which is based on the arrangement of teeth and the sockets. In the right side, we can see which is mentioned as A, B, C, D, E, F to H. These are the fossils and they are showing the types of dentition under the umbo. In this picture, you can clearly see the types of dentition, which is the taxodont type, disodont, isodont, sisodont, heterodont and desmodont. And two other more types of dentition are also present, which one means anemalodont. Anemalodont means true teeth and the sockets are absent. That is known as anemalodont type of dentition. In this picture, we can see the first one is known as arca. In this arca, the hinge line is very straight and in the dorsal side you can see the umbo, and interior of the valve you can see the two adductor impressions are present and the pallial line connecting both the adductor impressions. In the second picture, we can see Lateral teeth and cardinal teeth are marked, and the ligament also marked on this picture. In the last picture, we can see this picture is Austria, and the hingement you see means it is highly curved and raised from the umbo. It is comes from the umbo, and the hingement is not straight as we see in orca. It is highly curved. These are all the dentition of Pelecypods. Then the important thing is ligament. In the Pelecypod, the ligaments are very elastic and organic structures connecting the two shell walls, providing an energy efficient spring to keep the shells open, contrasting with the adductor muscles that close them. And they are composed of protein. Protein we can say here as concholine, and sometimes the minerals located dorsally and can be external or internal. Pelecypods in the Pelecypods, the ligaments are generally elastic because it is connecting the two shells, and the two walls need to be open and closed. The ligaments store the energy when the adductor muscles contract, pushing the walls apart when muscles relax and allowing the shell to gap. And then the composition and types of ligament we see means composition, which is made of fibrous glycoproteins and sometimes embedded with mineralized fibers. Then the types of ligament. First one, rhizolium. Rhizolium means which is present internal. It is an internal ligament with a supporting structure. Then fibrous ligament. It is elastic under the compression because the name fibrous. Fibrous means it is elastic under very compression. Then the lamellar ligament. It is elastic under both the compression and the tension. Then where the ligament present, its location means it is situated on the hinge plate only, which is often with teeth for alignment. It is presented on the hinge plate. It's the location of ligament. Then we can see the adductor impression. Adductor impression means it is it refers to the distinct and often oval or rounded scar or depression on the inside surface of each shell wall, which marks where the powerful adductor muscles attached to open and close the shell. Adductor impression forms when the organisms present inside the shell died and then buried. Then we can collect the shells only. Inside there will be no organism. Okay, there will be no organism, so that instead of that place only the adductor impression is present. It looks like a scar. Then location, it found on the inner surface of the shell walls, typically near the hinge line. Below the hinge line only adductor impression present. Then the shape, it can be rounded, oval, elongated, or sometimes irregular depending on the muscle formation. Then types of adductor impression. These types we can say monomerian and dimerian. Mono means one. Then monomerian means one large adductor impression only present, which is present on the internal wall on the central place only present, because only one large adductor impression. For example, the fossil scallops comes under the monomerian because it has only one adductor impression. Then dimerian. Di means two. Dimerian means the two impressions. They are common in many bivalves. Most of the bivalves we can see the dimerian types only, because one adductor impression on the anterior and the other on the posterior. So dimerian we can say. In this picture, last you can see the diagram with the shell. Isomerian. Isomerian means which comes under the dimerian. Dimerian divided into two types, which is isomerian and anisomerian. Because isomerian means two adductor impressions are present on the anterior and the posterior, but both the adductor impressions are same in size, which may be round or oval. But in anisomerian, you can see one adductor impression is larger than the other. In this picture, you can see an anisomerian. One adductor impression which is present on the posterior side is very larger than the anterior side, because anterior side adductor impression is very smaller when compared to the posterior. So isomerian and anisomerian are the types comes under the dimerian. Then in the last picture you can see monomerian, because only one large adductor impression is present on the center of the wall in internal only. In the above pictures you can see first one is the arca. In the previous slide we saw this the hingement is very straight and two adductor impression present. In the second picture you can see there are the examples of monomerian, because only one large adductor impression is present. In that second picture, the first shell is the Austria. These are the adductor impression. Then we can come under the then we can see the pallial line. It means a mark on the inner surface of the bivalve shell, more or less parallel with the margin, caused by the attachment of mantle. It is a crucial feature for identifying the fossil shells, often with a posterior indentation called the pallial sinus, which indicates the siphon attachment for respiration or feeding. The location of pallial line, where it present, it runs along the inner surface of the shell, which is parallel to the ventral margin. Ventral means bottom side of the shell and dorsal is the top portion of shell. Then what is the function of pallial line? It marks the insertion point of the mantle muscles that connect the mantle to the shell. Then what is pallial sinus? As previously I said, the line connecting the two adductor impression is the pallial line, and the slight depression which is present in the pallial line, then we can say it as pallial sinus. It's a distinct inward curve or indentation in the pallial line, always located at the posterior end. In the posterior end only the pallial sinus is present. This is the pallial line. Then we can see the ventral margin. The ventral margin of Pelecypoda is the bottom of the shell, bottom edge of the shell. Dorsal means top edge of the shell, which is opposite to the hinge and the umbo. Umbo means a beak-like projection. This margin, the ventral margin, is where the two walls of the shell open to allow the food to be extended for locomotion or for the animal to interact with its environment. How the animal will interact? It walks, and locomotion means it moves from one place to another. So the ventral margin plays a vital role in interaction of animals with the surrounding environment. Okay, where the ventral margin present location? It is the lower free edge of the shell, where when the bivalve is oriented with the hinge uppermost and the anterior part facing the forward. Then what is the function of ventral margin? When the adductor muscles relax, the natural tension in the hinge ligament causes the valves to spring open along the ventral margin. The animal can then extend its large muscular foot from this opening. The shape and features of the ventral margin can vary greatly among the species and are used in the taxonomy. What are the shapes means? What are the shapes of ventral margin? It may be sometimes rounded or convex in outline. In outline you can see rounded or convex, or then straight, sinuated. Sinuated means wave-like or curve-like shape. Then denticulated or crenulated. In the below you can see two shells which shows the ventral margin and the external surface. In the C you can rounded, straight, sinuated, denticulated. These are the shapes. This is what ventral margin. Then ornamentation. Ornamentation is also very important in the Pelecypoda. In the Pelecypoda shells, which exhibit the diverse ornamentation patterns, they are crucial for species identification, providing the structural strength and aiding in specific life habits such as burrowing or predator avoidance. The ornamentation is generally composed of radial and concentric elements, which can appear simply or in complex combinations. The types of Pelecypoda ornamentation. What are the types? We can see based on the arrangement of outer shell. Okay. In this first one, which is concentric or co-marginal. These are the markings such as growth lines, ridges or lamellae, which run parallel to the shell margin, it reflecting the periodic growth stages. The concentric lines are the growth lines in the outer external surface of the shell. They can range from fine, faint lines to strong, platy structures. Then radial type. Radial means these linear patterns which can be lines, threads or prominent ribs. They are originate from the beak. Beak means umbo. Here we say the umbo. Umbo is the oldest part of the shell as we see earlier in the slide, and it extends towards the ventral margin. The third type is non-linear or textured. The shell surface may be entirely covered by a texture appearing as granules, pustules or pits. Then the fourth type is oblique or eccentric. These features such as sisciclate striations cross the shell at an angle and do not originate from the beak or follow the margin. It is the ornamentation, and these are the four types of ornamentation of pelecypods. And finally, we can see the geological distribution of pelecypod, because geological distribution is very important. It only indicates, it only says us the history of the pelecypods. Okay, pelecypods have a very global and geological distribution appearing in the fossil record from early Cambrian period and thriving in marine and freshwater body habitats today. They reached the peak populations in the Mesozoic and Tertiary period. Mesozoic and Tertiary periods only, and they are found in various strata. Strata means the layers of the rocks. Then the geological history and distribution. Early appearance. The fossil record of pelecypods dates back to the early Cambrian, over 500 million years ago. When the peak population came, the populations are peaked during the Mesozoic and Tertiary periods only. They are indicating the periods of significant diversification and the abundance of pelecypods. Then fossil formation. They are found in various geological formations worldwide, such as the Mississippian and Pennsylvanian Anson Formation in the Wind River Range, the Eocene Group in Florida, and the Cretaceous Mount Laurel Formation. These are the fossil formations of pelecypods. Then modern distribution. Today, the pelecypods are found in marine and freshwater habitats on every continent. These pelecypod shells are, we can see, usually when we are going to the beach, we can see on the shoreline. These pelecypod shells are present, and they are not very rare. They are easily, we can see anywhere on the any seashore line. So, today the pelecypods are found in marine and freshwater habitats on every continent. It is present on every continent. They are very common in both the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, and also the Mediterranean and the large rivers and the streams. These are the geological distribution and history of pelecypods. Thank you.